Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sanjana. In today's video, I wanted to talk about how to decide whether you need multiple planners or not, and also be a little bit more intentional when you are in this process of choosing multiple planners to use for yourself. So let's get started. What I'm gonna do is I have a couple of questions that I'm gonna share with you. You can ask them for yourself. If you want, you can do that activity as and when you're watching this video, like hear the question, listen to some of the example answers that I give, and then pause the video. You can write your answers and we can go about it like that. And I'll also give all of the questions in the description box below so that it's easier for you to just copy and put it in your journal in case you want to do it after watching the video. Okay, let's get started. The first question is, where do I have this? Okay, let's go with this one. The first question, the first question is, why do I need multiple planners? I know you are watching this video because you're actually considering to get multiple planners for yourself, but you're not really sure about how to use them, or whether it's going to be worth your money or not, or whether you're going to have the time to really use all of those planners or not. So the first question to ask yourself is, why do I need multiple planners? And like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I'm gonna write some example answers, talk about them, so that it'll be helpful for you guys to choose before buying the planner. Okay, so the first thing that we would feel when we want to buy multiple planners is because they are so pretty. It's okay, the answers can be anything. It's just up to you. However you feel, you are just write that down. It can be as silly as saying that there are so many pretty planners I want to try, or it can be a more productive answer that will really help in your goal setting, or you achieving your goals throughout the year too. Okay, so the first answer I want to write here is, so many pretty planners that I want to try. And I get this a lot, like the same feeling. I think this is the exact reason why I wanted to try multiple planners in the first place. I've sort of always been using multiple at least multiple planning methods for different aspects of my life, but when I decided that I want to get many planners, this was the first thought that I got. There's such pretty planners, there's so many options available, and I want to give them a try. So this is a valid answer too. Another reason might be that no space to plan my entire life in one planner. So this can be another reason to excuse my handwriting. First of all, I'm writing it pretty large, which I'm not used to, and also I'm just trying to make it really quick. Okay, no space to plan my entire life in one planner. I felt this. I felt when I was using the 𝓟𝓻𝓸𝓶𝓹𝓽𝓼 planner in 2020. Actually, yeah, 2020, that was my only planner. I did have another one for my studies, but that was like, I was treating it as my only planner. Like I said, I had different planning methods, multiple planning methods from a really long time, but that was the first year wherein I got different planners for different purposes, and that really worked well. So the reason why I did that was I did not have place to plan my entire like my college as well as my personal stuff in just the 𝓟𝓻𝓸𝓶 planner. So that might be another reason for you too. You're finding that the planning space that has been given in your favorite planner, or in the planners that you have used in the past years, there's not enough space in that. And then one more thing that I did for 2022 is this one. So the answer for that would be, I want to focus on one of the aspects of my life. In 2019, I was working with a personal trainer, and he asked me to send the things I ate, and he knew the workouts I was doing. So he asked me to do that every day, or like weekdays. I used to send that to him, and he would sort of do that calorie deficit thing and give the calculations and all that, and he would plan my workouts based on that. So what I started doing then was I started writing it in a notebook, and then I would click a picture and send it to him. I noticed that it really helped me a lot when I was writing my meals down, the things that I ate, like after I ate, and the workouts that I did. So it just helped me so much. I continued doing that in my notebook itself. And then at the end of 2021, when I was doing a lot of planner reviews, I thought, okay, let's use one of these planners to write that down. And I'm using the 𝓟𝓻𝓸𝓶𝓹𝓽𝓼 planner. This is for my wellness. So my wellness, I feel from at least this year, what I noticed was I want to keep that as one of my priorities, I think almost throughout my life. So I never ever want to go back to just using a regular notebook for it, or using a like making it part of my main planner itself. Because at the end of the day, when I sit down to open this planner and write things down, it's just a different vibe for me. That vibe I do not get when I open my ink bucket planner or when I open my work planner. So I really find benefits to use a separate planner when you want to focus on one particular area of your life. So that's an example. I hope this was helpful, but if you need more information about this, focusing on one aspect of your life, let me know in the comments. Okay, so this is the first question. Think about, why exactly do you need multiple planners? Like I said, the answers can be very silly, or it can be very surface level, that you just want to try different planners. You want to you've always been meaning to purchase a planner from a certain brand, so you want to try that this year. So that is how your first question would go. And then the second question for you to ask yourself is, or not, are you sure? Am I sure that it isn't FOMO? So FOMO is basically fear of missing out. We get this a lot, especially during this period of time when a lot of planners are launching a lot of cute stuff that comes as freebies, or like discounts that are going on. There's a lot of things that are going on in the online world that you feel like, oh, I need this, I need that. So before we proceed further, you need to make sure that it isn't just FOMO. Like you're not it's not like, oh, what if I miss that particular deal, or what if I miss those freebies. You want to make sure that it's not all of those, not all of the fancy things that planner comes with it, but it's the actual planner itself. Once you do yes, it isn't FOMO, then we can proceed further. This is really important, guys. If you feel like you need to buy the planner only because of certain offers that are going on, or certain freebies that you're gonna get, then that is not a good reason to use multiple planners. Because I feel like these kind of offers are great if those other products, like you'll end up using the other products too. But if it's just for cuteness, or if it's just that excitement, then it's not gonna work. One, it's waste of money. Two, you'll feel really guilty. And three, it's like you feel regrets too, like, why did I waste money on this plan, or why did I buy that? And trust me, that isn't a good feeling. So you want to be a little bit intentional about it. Only if the answer to this question is yes, then we will move on to the next question. So these two steps are really, really important. And then we'll start getting into a little bit more in detail. The third question is, what are the areas of my life I need planners for, and why? And this is very, very crucial. Write down the list of areas that you need a planner for. One I highly recommend you to have is a main planner, or like a personal planner, or whatever you want to call it as. But basically, one planner in which you have no restrictions for yourself. You can write down any task list, plan however you want. That is going to be your main planner. I highly recommend you to have that one for yourself. So I'm going to put that down by default. And then second thing that I can think of, which is quite important to use a planner for, is work or college. Whether you're a student or you're working, it has helped me always, even when planners weren't a thing when I was in school long back, when I was also doing my graduation more than 10 years ago. I always had a notebook wherein I would plan, the rough notebook that we used to carry for school. I used to always have it, and I used to write things down. I would write my exam plans, think about which day, what I want to study, which chapter do I need to cover. I used to do that, and it has helped me a lot. So just because we have all these planners now, I think you can take these planning stuff to next level. I would have loved to have a planner when I was at that age, but never mind. For work too, it is excellent. Even for work, probably until 2020, I was using a notebook as my work planner. I would just come at the beginning of the day. I would write down all the things that I need to do that particular day. I would make meeting notes. It was just a regular lined notebook, and I used to use that. And I used to just buy pretty notebooks, and just for some excitement at that point in time. But yeah, the next important thing would be for work or for college. Then another reason might be for wellness. Like I said, once I started using the planner, I never want to go back to that. There are different reasons why I do not want to go back to a notebook. I'll talk about that in the next question, but that thing I'm going to mark it here. And then another reason why I'm thinking about to use a planner is for journaling. And this one, same reason. I used to actually journal in a regular notebook, but for 2022, because at the end of 2021 I bought more planners to review with you guys, I kept the botanical story planner in order to use for my journaling, because the layout is pretty good. It's just a few lines every day, and you don't really have a reason not to journal. It hardly takes like a minute or two to finish this. So that's the reason I started using it, and I really like. Probably if I didn't have the channel, I wouldn't have used a planner for journaling. I would have stuck with the notebook, because I buy certain planners to do a review. I end up using it for journaling, but it's a great method. Again, I'll talk about the pros and cons a little bit in the next question. So this is for journaling. And there are a few other reasons too. If you have a social media channel, whether it's Instagram or YouTube or other platforms, wherein you're really thinking about creating content, and if it's just not your hobby, initially, if you're just starting out, I highly recommend don't keep a separate planner. Don't focus too much on that. Just focus on enjoying the process of creation. But if you have been doing it for quite some time now and you want to take it up to the next level, probably another reason would be for social media planner or content planner, something. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna stick with these four, because I feel like they're sort of the essential list, or it's, if you're thinking about multiple planners, these two you need to have. The first two you need to have, I feel. Then wellness and journaling, it would be a good addition if you like a lot of the planners that are there and you want to give it a try. So this is the list. Now what we're going to do is write down why exactly you want separate planners for this. Okay, so now you'll have your list. Like I said, it can be other things too, but for this video we'll just pick these four. Main planner, I want it because I want to do a brain dump. And then I also want to do my goal setting in this, for my entire life, irrespective of which aspect it is. Goal setting, and yeah, these are the two things that I can think of. Brain dump in the sense just put all the things that you want to do on a particular day in that. Okay, so this is for my main planner. Some more reasons might be that you are not sure that multiple planners would work for you, so you just want to keep one main planner so that it'll always be there as a backup. That can be a reason too, but let's try to keep it a little bit similar and to the point for the main planner. And then for work or college, I don't want to mix personal and professional. So the reason why I was using notebooks in before 2020 was that I really did not, I felt like my main planner was just so pretty and it was such good vibes. I did not want to put like work stuff down in there. At that point in time, I was looking for a change. I was not really enjoying the work that I was doing. So that's the reason I started using a separate notebook, and I also would keep it in the office itself. I wouldn't carry it home. So, and I wouldn't carry my planner to work. That's the reason I started having separate notebook for planners. But then when I started working from home, I used to, in 2020, I used to just plan in my personal planner itself. And then for 2021, I realized, no, I don't want to put my work stuff down. I want to create healthier boundaries, because it really helped when I was setting my goals. When I used to open the planner, seeing work stuff in there, like it was just not a good feeling. So having these two things separately like really helps, and it helps in me maintaining a good balance in my life when it comes to work or college and then my personal life. So that's the reason why I want a separate planner for it. And then for wellness, why would I need a separate planner for wellness? Because this is my main focus for 2023. Okay, so again, the reason why I highly recommend having a separate planner, it need not be a 𝓟𝓻𝓸𝓶𝓹𝓽𝓼, it can be anything. I think what you need is actually the daily pages rather than the monthly calendar or any trackers. So you can choose a simple planner. Probably I'll do a video on which planners would be really good for wellness. I know because a lot of you are thinking about having a separate planner for wellness. So in that video, I'll talk about how to use these planners. So that I feel like it's a pretty good reason, and because I've used it this year, it's working really well. So I just wanted to share that. And journaling, why do you want it? For me, I actually don't need it, but for now, let's stick to why I would need a planner. It's simply because there are many pretty planners. And it would be nice to have one. It would be a nice way to journal. Okay, here you go. You have your what areas of your life you want planners for, and then you also have like why exactly do you need it. So we are pretty good with the first three sections of this exercise. Now let's move on to the fourth one. The fourth one to ask is like what we want to do in each and every one of these steps is, okay, you have this, but then you want to reevaluate it just a bit. So I want to ask myself, can I use a notebook instead of a planner? Because for some of these you easily can instead of a planner. And in this section, I'm going to give you an example of different reasons. These are not my exact my exact answers for myself, but because your answers might be different, I just want to give you a scenario for each and everything. Okay, here you have the list of 4 planners that you had noted down in the previous question. Now you have to think about whether you can use a notebook instead of a planner. For my main planner, no, I don't want to use a notebook. I need a planner for that. For my work or college, I think maybe I can use, let me just put maybe. Then for wellness, honestly, I'll just put it as no. Then for journal, I think maybe. So here you have a couple of different scenarios. Oops, this one was supposed to be yes. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so for my main planner, no, I cannot use a notebook. For work or college, maybe I can do with a notebook. For wellness, yes, I can definitely do with a notebook. And for journal too, maybe. Okay, so for this, what we are gonna do is sort of go a little bit deeper into these questions. Ask yourself, why don't you want to use a notebook? Why do you want to use a planner itself? And here I'm gonna put is like, first I need a planner for brain dump. I'm just going to use the word brain dump, but you know what I mean, right? It means like just listing down the things that I want to get done on a particular day. And also cute designs motivate me. Okay, this is one of the reasons why or probably the main reason why I don't want to go with a notebook for my main planner. And then for work or college, I have written as maybe. So reconsider this. Why? Imagine if you're not using a planner for it. What would be the things that you would miss? For me personally, I would miss the monthly calendar view. I need that to write like deadlines, to make a note of the meetings or some of the projects that are due and all of that. So I'm gonna put here as I need the calendar view. Calendar view and goal setting as well. So just setting separate goals for your career, for your academics, that is quite helpful. I did that for the first time in 2022 and it's actually pretty good. I want to modify a few things. Some things didn't work, some things are working. So I'll talk about that in my once I get my work planner. And then for wellness, you have written, yes, you can definitely use a notebook. So I'm gonna put here as let's go with a notebook then. This is just to explain different scenarios here so that you'll have examples for each of them and it'll just help you in your own process. And then for journal, I've written as maybe. So I'm gonna think about, okay, let's consider I'm not getting a planner for my journaling and I'm just gonna get a regular notebook. Would that work? I'll put as yes, it works. I can use 1 page per day. So here you go, you have your list, right? So one of the scenarios is you are 100% sure that you need a planner. The second scenario is you're a little bit like confused, or you think it might be okay to use a notebook, but then you realize that no, you do need a planner because of certain spreads. And also for my work, another reason is that I'll share my personal reason is that I don't really want to waste my time setting up the layouts. Like I used to use for 2021, I used a regular notebook, but I would create my weekly spreads because I needed it. I needed a planner, but then I thought, okay, let's just go with a notebook. But it was just a lot of work, a lot of effort, but like to create the spreads. So using a planner is quite helpful for me to save time and yeah. So that's that. And for wellness, you are sure, okay, notebook is fine. I don't really need a planner, so let's go with a notebook. For journal, maybe you're a little bit confused here again and you're contemplating different options. And then you end up deciding, okay, I don't need a planner. So these are sort of the 4 scenarios you will experience. You might not experience, like you might think, no, I need a planner for everything. That is good too. Or you might be confused about everything and you decide, okay, whether you need it or not. And then another thing is you're like, okay, sure, I don't need a planner, I can use it. I'm just wanted to give you guys examples of all the answers that you might get like in different situations. So this is your 4th question. Before we proceed, just want to check if you're feeling okay with this process and like it's, you know, you're finding it helpful. Now let's move on to the next one, wherein we're gonna ask ourselves, am I sure about choices? So just again, like how we did here, are we sure that it isn't FOMO? Like that we are going to just be a little bit sure about the choices you have made here because we don't want to have any regrets. That's quite important for me too. And I want to just be a little bit more intentional when I'm picking multiple planners. So I wanted to share this with you guys. So now, you know what, for main, I'm sure about main. Then I'm just gonna write here, I'm sure about main. Then for my work I'm sure too. And then for wellness, I actually think I need a notebook, so I'm gonna put that here. I actually think I need a planner. And then just also write like why you're feeling like that. I can see the days that I have missed. This is one of the reasons why I like having a planner for the wellness, because on the days that I haven't logged my meals, I think I can just see it, like, and it'll just automatically help me to be more consistent with that particular habit of logging down the meals. So that will really be helpful. So we are reevaluating, and you decide, okay, for wellness, you actually need a planner. Then for journal, I'm sure about the journal too. Okay. And then this is for wellness. Okay, here you go. You've reevaluated your choices again, and now you're like, okay, for me, for work, for wellness, you need planners. For journal, you don't really need. So then what you're gonna do once you have this list is that you are going to create a routine for yourself. Okay, so you have morning, day, and then evening. So in each of these slots, you have 3 planners and another journaling habit that you have decided, or let's say you've gone ahead with the journaling too. Now make a note of when exactly would you be working or would you be using the planners, because another question that I get is, how do you get the time to use multiple planners? Like, so many planners, do you waste a lot of time in there, or from where do you get the time? So this particular section really helps to be mindful about that aspect when you're considering multiple planners. So morning, I want to be using my main planner, wherein as soon as I wake up, you can journal about this too, but just to make this video a little bit concise, I'll explain it quickly. So for me, like, what I do is I brainstorm my daily to-do list at the beginning of the day, or sometimes the previous night itself if I have a little bit more time in hand. So I like that. But mostly I do it in the morning. Then during the day, what I do is like work or college, or like on the days, working days, wherein before I begin work, I write down the list of things that I need to do, or the meetings that I have, and just to make sure that I'm working on the things that I need to, that are important. And yeah, so I'm doing all the things. Then that's pretty good. And then evening, what I do is I do my wellness before evening or night, like before I go to bed. I write down the things that I ate that particular day and the activity that I did. Did I do yoga? Did I go for a walk? Currently I'm doing these things, but if you are a person who likes going to gym, so what is it? What activity are you doing for your body, and what are the things that you are eating? So that really helps. It helps me a lot. And then journal. Whether you decide to go with a planner or not, just make sure, because you considered here, this is what areas of my life you need planners for, because you considered it here. I would suggest to like put it in this routine, whether you decide to pick a planner or not. So we have this list here, and now most importantly, just anticipate how much time you would be needing for each of these things. For my main planning, probably 15 to 20 minutes would be the maximum. I don't think this is on a daily basis, by the way. I have to mention here, create a daily routine. Other things like monthly planning or weekly planner setup, those things are all separate, and it really doesn't take a lot of time. This is what is important. A lot of time in the sense, like, it's just once a month or once a week. On a daily basis, we are more concerned about that here. So main planner, you need about 15 to 20 minutes. That 15 minutes, you don't really spend more than that. I don't think it's really necessary. 15 minutes is on the higher end, I would say. Then for work or college, again, 15 minutes, just go through your emails first. So what I do is first half hour of the day, just go through the emails, and then go another 15 minutes, just make a to-do list of the things based on your emails and the projects that you're working on. I don't know how your work, like how you get your tasks or how you decide on what are the things that you need to do. For me personally, emails does the job, and I also have like a separate document on my system wherein I have details about all the projects that I'm working on, and yeah, I don't need to explain that here, but I just wanted to mention. First 15 minutes, sort that out on your laptop or computer, and then the next 15 minutes you can put that down in a planner. Then for wellness, honestly, I don't even need a minute, but I'm just gonna put it here as 2 to 3 minutes. You don't need more than a minute to. It's just remembering what you ate that particular day and write it down. Like I said, I'll talk about the benefits of it in some other video. And then for journaling, I would say about 10 minutes. Like sometimes you need to think a little bit, sometimes it's automatic. You sit down and you write things, and it'll take like 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes. But there are certain days where you need to like prompt yourself, you need to think about it a little bit. The best thing to do when I started journaling, what I used to do was I used to set a timer. I started with 5 minutes. So I used to call it the thought download, 5-minute thought download. I'd put a timer, write how much ever I can in those 5 minutes. So probably 5 to 10 minutes would be pretty good time. So if you see, this is about like maximum 45 minutes you would spend, and I love using planners. So 45 minutes a day is like, I love it. I love that I can use my planners for such a time in my day. And work or content, work or college, I put that in my work day because that is work. So that really doesn't take away from my personal time too. If you see your personal time, it's just about 30 minutes a day. And I feel, and also journaling is there in that, wellness is there in that main planner. Like it's really helping you get clarity, and it's helping you in your personal development journey. So I think 30 minutes for your mental health is a pretty good thing to do. So you're pretty good until this. Now we move on to, which one is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We move on to the 7th question. Then you're going to ask yourself this question: what happens if I don't use as I intended to? So these were your intentions. You have like, okay, morning you're going to do this, daytime, evening time, you're going to do this. These are your intentions. But what happens if it doesn't work out as you intended it to? So just write down the things that you are going to do in case things don't work out. First thing is reevaluate. So I will reevaluate. So you're going to reevaluate why isn't it working? Is it because it's become extremely busy, or is it because you feel like this is not really helping you, or do you find it unnecessary to just like you don't really have a lot of things to plan, or you find out that, okay, wellness, I don't really want to use a planner, I just want to use a notebook. Or for journal, you feel like, no, I want to use a planner. So just reevaluate why exactly it isn't working. Yeah, I think this is more important. Reevaluate why. And then after that, what you're going to do is switch up your routine. Switch up my routine. So just have a look at this, see, okay, probably it's not working. Probably I just need to spend 5 minutes on the planner and it'll really help me in my life. So things like that, or if you want to put your main planner towards the evening and journal in the morning, whatever it is, like switch things up. You will know the exact reasons once you have gone through that situation. I cannot really tell it, but things that I can think of is like it's taking up a lot of time, or I'm forgetting to do it, or I feel like journaling would be a lot better in the morning, and I also want to go to bed with a clear head, so I just want to plan things down, sort it out the previous day itself. So these are the things that you get, and it will really help. And also what exactly you can do. I personally follow this a lot from 2020. Yeah, from 2020 I'm following this. So this thing is not pressurize myself to use it every day. It's okay, you don't have to use your planners every single day. It is totally fine. Each day is not going to be the same. So just take that pressure off yourself. I think this thing is going to help you in your planner journey so much. It's okay even if you don't use it for a month, it's totally fine. Just use it on the days that you really need it. And then another thing is, if it's complicating my life, I will reconsider. So let's say wellness, it's just messing up my head a lot. Stop it, stop using it, and then probably reconsider it the following week or the following month, or don't use it at all. But these are the 3 things that are really important in case you don't end up using it as you intended to. So first is reevaluating why, and then try to switch up things. And then if don't pressurize yourself to use every day. Also, if it's complicating your life, just reconsider the system for that particular planner. Then one more thing that is really important is just write down the statement. Actually, I think it really helps. Writing this down really helps. Promise myself that I will not regret the purchases. So because you are investing your money, there is bound to be a situation when you're not using it and you regret, oh my god, why did I spend so much on all of these different planners? So just promise yourself that you're not going to regret this decision, because when you follow all of this process, you are making this decision really intentionally, and you've set good intentions at this time of the year for 2023. So it's all from a good place in your heart. So don't really regret, and you have used the knowledge that you have available at this point in time in order to make that decision, in order for you to have a positive and happy 2023. So just promise yourself not to regret. This is extremely important because I feel, at least I face it. Sometimes I face it. There are planners that haven't worked out for me at all. One of them being content planning. Like every year I've tried to use different ways to plan. I've tried to pick different planners. It never worked. This year I actually for 2022 I tried to use the Ink Bucket Undated planner. It didn't work, so I stopped. And for next year I've got the Rifle Paper Co. So let's see how that goes. But yeah, no regrets, because you have been pretty intentional when you follow this process. So we are pretty good here. And I do have certain best practices that I want to quickly share, and I have written down here. And these are: 1, do this exercise, review it about 2 to 3 times. I think we are pretty good in terms of reviewing, because each and every step I've tried to keep it okay, make sure it isn't FOMO. Then, are you sure about the other choices? Then what happens if you don't use it? We have done it, but just go over it again 2 to 3 times before you make the decisions to buy multiple planners. And then another thing that you want to do is, before you buy, build a planner wish list. So all the planners that you like, just build up a wish list, either on a piece of paper or on your laptop. This really helps too, because many of the times I feel okay, this part I am good, but I don't know which planner to buy exactly. So better to do is to create a wish list for yourself, so all the planners you like. And then in this wish list, make sure you have a combination of dated, undated, as well as multiple price range. Some planners might be less than 1,000, some planners might be around 1,200, or something might be around 2,000. So make sure to have different all of diversity in your wish list. So dated, undated. So just in case, let's say for wellness it doesn't end up working for you, or for work or for college it doesn't really end up working for you, you feel like notebook is the better way to go. It's better to have undated so that you can use it for something else in the future. And then multiple price range. That's really, I feel like it's important. Don't try to think that, okay, something that's expensive is really good, something that's cheap isn't good. It's not the case at all. It really depends on the brand and a lot of their back end stuff when they decide the price. So try to have a combination of all that, and also use discounts and coupons. I have a couple of discounts and coupon codes in the description box in every video that I put out. So before you're making a purchase, just check if there's any discount code for a planner that you want to buy, and then you can use it. Some of them I have is Happy Wagon 10% discount code, then Vinci Stationery, you have 150 rupees discount code. Tall Elephant is around, I think, 100 rupees discount. For 𝓼𝓲𝓶𝓹𝓽𝓼 planner, you get 5% off if you use my coupon code. So just make sure to save up as much as you can when you're picking, if you have that option. So yeah, these are all the best practices I made a note of. And then another video, not exactly tomorrow's video because tomorrow is the 𝓟𝓲𝓶𝓮𝓼 launch and I want to do a video on that, but sometime this week, probably Saturday or something, I'll put up a video about how to decide which planners to use for each purpose. I just wanted to do this because it's really important to know why exactly you need and for what you need multiple planners for. And then let's talk about all the pretty planners that we have and how to decide which planner to use for what purpose. And also I will share my list as to which planners I have purchased, which planners I want to purchase, and for what I want to use it for. So we'll talk about all that in the upcoming video. Let's call this as the multiple planner series. And if you have any questions regarding multiple planners, do let me know in the comments, and I'll probably create videos on that, so we can have this little mini series so that we're way more intentional when we are making these kind of decisions. So yeah guys, I really hope you found this video helpful, and if you have, like I mentioned, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. I'd be happy to answer, or if it requires a detailed explanation, I can do a video on it. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.